Welcome to a new video. I have separate mic, which is so much more handier than having to sync audio together. Wanted to talk about anatomy today because comes this time where it's the new year and everyone wants to start learning how to draw. And I was like, let me take advantage of this opportunity and just take advantage of this opportunity. No, I really want to teach you all how to learn to my best ability. I'm not the greatest at this. Also, why am I wearing AirPods when I'm not even listening to anything? Welcome to a new video. Hello, my name is Karen. I'm an illustrator based in New York, and today I wanted to talk about anatomy. When I learned anatomy, of course, I learned the fundamentals and like the muscles, not all the muscles, because I'm not trying to be a surgeon. I'm just an illustrator, but I did to my bestest capabilities of what to know about anatomy, but at the same time I still struggled with proportions and all that stuff and foreshortening, perspective, all those mumbo jumbo. But the thing is, I have a different way of thinking. I don't know what it was. It's just been like that since I was like a wee lad. Horrible at English and history, but pretty good at math for whatever reason. That being said, I am more of a visual learner. I don't know if you're a visual learner, but I'm a visual learner. So I have to see what I need to learn. I need to see someone do it so I can replicate it, so I can learn from that. The way I don't know, I think it's the left side of your brain where you think more not black and white, but like outside of the box, if that makes sense. So anyways, I'm just gonna give you some tips of my unconventional mind of how I come to terms with learning anatomy. The first tip, which you should always do whether or not you're a beginner or an expert, is to use references. Now, I noticed that when people start to learn anatomy, they don't use references, or like when you're trying to like draw something from your mind, you don't have this catalog, you don't have this like memory folder or whatever, this folder in your head of how to draw said pose and thing, and then you get upset like, oh, I can't draw, and then you get discouraged, and then you don't want to draw anymore. And I'm like, wonder why? Because you didn't fucking learn. You didn't get references, and you don't have the references, and how you gonna learn, you know? It's like fucking trying to learn Spanish, but you never picked up a Spanish notebook nor listened to any Spanish things, and you try to like understand, go to Mexico or something, and you can't understand shit because you didn't learn anything. So that being said, use fucking references, for the love of God, use references. Second tip is start off with perhaps figure drawing or gesture drawing. Figure drawing or gesture drawing, basically you draw naked people. Yes, you draw naked people, but you do it in a timely manner. You time yourself. Like you could time yourself within 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and it goes on. Obviously, when you're doing these like 20-second sketches, you're just doing the gesture. So you're doing the lines, you're focusing on how the body bends and all these things, and you're just like, anyways, so go on quickposes.com. I'll link it down below if I remember this, and draw the naked people. Or if you're really like, oh, I'm 10 years old and I don't want to draw naked people, my mother will beat me up. Understand? I didn't like draw like an actual nude person until like college, so I was like freshly like 18, and I was like, oh. Granted, it was like a 60-year-old man, and I'm just like, oh. But there are poses you can set the photos that are given to you to like them just wearing like underwear and stuff, but like you're still able to grasp the muscles and all sorts of things without having to see their pee-pee or their titties. Anyways, going from there, I also recommend to use nude photos rather than people who are clothed. The reason to that, if you want to learn anatomy and you're drawing someone who is like fully clothed in baggy clothes like this, like you're not gonna learn anything. Well, I guess you'll learn how to like draw folds and stuff to clothing, but that's not gonna help you with anatomy because you don't know what's going on under, right? There is a way in which you can do that, but wait, they don't. Okay, it's 2025. Like I can't be using memes for 2024. Maybe in the future I'll talk about like how you can understand the body underneath clothing, because obviously when you draw clothes, it falls beneath the said body, and therefore it creates certain folds, or like there's like this little sag because it's very baggy, right? It's very baggy. I'll get to that eventually. Third tip, time yourself. Like I said before, timing yourself is very crucial, even with just like learning. I feel like when people like learn anatomy, like they really take their time. They really cook. And you don't want to cook. You want to like quickly like boil, you know? You want to boil that chicken that your mom told you to take out 2 hours ago, and you didn't do it, and now she's gonna beat you when she gets back. I think when you time yourself, you get this more of this pressure, but you also get this understanding of how to work said body, how to work said line gesture, like how this arm goes up and down, and the leg, and then the head. I just cracked my neck. And then also just understanding the symmetry line, I believe it's called, where that's like the center of the body. So like this is right, but then it could curve, and then that would mean like, oh, that's a mother hover gesture, not gesture. That's a dynamic pose, as opposed to just being stiff and still and symmetrical. Then that's a stagnant pose, and we don't want a stagnant pose. That fucking you don't want a stagnant pose, right? So time yourself. Try to understand the shoulders and all that shit and whatnot. Next thing, draw the silhouettes or the shape of said person you are drawing. Now, when I say this, I mentioned this in like one of my previous videos, or maybe multiple videos. I don't really remember, but I'm big on drawing shapes rather than drawing the image itself. You tend to get lost in details, and you don't want to do that, because then you're like, why is it disproportionate to the head? Why is my head smaller than the rest of the body that I drew? Because you focused on the details. You focused on focusing on the details. Build a shape. Things with geometry. There's planes. There's spheres. Rhombuses. No, we don't focus on rhombuses. 3-dimension is basically what we want to go for, right? You don't want to just go whole whammy on just the head and then body, right? Also, negative space. Huge thing. Big help. If one leg is stretching this way, you like my socks? Oh, you can't see it. Oh, yeah. It's my Crocs. I have matching Crocs with my boyfriend. If there's like, negative space like you see here. Wait, hold on. Right here. That's negative space, right? This right here, negative space. So you want to get an understanding of that. And then even outside all this, negative space. Try to get an understanding of that. And for silhouettes, literally just draw the shape. I would recommend maybe going in with just a thick material to draw with, like maybe a marker or like paint, watercolor, and then going back after filling in the lines of said blob that you just created, which is supposed to be the silhouette. I think that's a really fun exercise to do when you're trying to learn anatomy. And yeah, just draw them as a whole, not as just a singular entity, but as a whole. Whole milk. Mozzarella cheese. Mozzarella cheese. And this is a big thing that I encourage you to do. And I say, if you've been subscribed to me for a while, I say this all the time. Draw with unerasable material. Pens, markers, paint, a pencil with no eraser. Anything of the sort that you can't erase. Use those for gesture drawings so you can't erase. Don't get focused on your mistakes. Mistakes is what leads you to success. I feel like a motivational speaker. Hello. You want to be able to get better. Perhaps you want to get better quickly so you can draw said person doing said thing, right? Draw with a pen. I learned so much drawing with a pen, and I implore you, is that the word? I encourage you guys to do the same. It helped me not only fucking finesse at drawing with a pen. That's like my shtick on like social media. Like, whoa, how can she draw with a pen? Because I don't believe in pencils anymore. I really don't. See how you feel, and maybe you'll like it. That's all I have for you today. I hope this audio is good. I hope I'm not. I hope it's not peaking. I know I'm someone who tends to be quiet in my videos, so I'm hoping that this would also help because it's just literally in my mouth. Thank you for coming to this video, and let me know what you would like to learn next from me. I can only give you so much knowledge. I barely have the knowledge myself, to be honest. But I encourage you to learn anatomy. It's time. It's 2025. Come on, we're like a quarter into the decade. No, what? We're a quarter into the century. If you're 12 years old, come on now. You're 12. Do better. No, I'm kidding. But if you're like 18 and you're trying to finesse it, you got this. I believe in you. Come on. Don't doubt yourself for a second. Anyways, see you in the next video. And maybe subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. I have an online store. I sell a coloring book. Yeah, that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. 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 Bye.